Hi, I'm Tim from lapsofshutter.com, and in this video we're going to cover what to do if your Samsung TV is flickering. And I'll briefly cover these 8 possible fixes for your TV. So we'll start by cold booting your TV. This is a quick and easy, and it won't cause you to lose any of your save settings. So just plug your TV in, switch it on, and then pull the plug out of the wall socket. Wait a full 10 seconds. Then plug your TV back in and try switching it on. You can also power cycle your TV if this hasn't been successful. So switch off and unplug your TV, hold down the physical power button for at least 15 seconds, wait for another 30 minutes for any residual power to drain, and then plug your TV in and try switching it on. This is a pretty basic step, but often it does fix the issue. If it hasn't, then try removing your HDMI cables. So there's a strong possibility that a poorly seated cable is creating signal noise which is displaying as a flickering screen. So just take all your HDMI cables out and then bring up the on-screen menu. If the flickering has gone, then try reseating your HDMI cables one by one until you find the damaged cable that needs replacing. But if the flickering is still covering the on-screen menu on TV, then try running an HDMI self-test, just to double check that the HDMI is not causing any issue. So press home on your remote, go to settings and support, device care and self-diagnosis and HDMI troubleshooting, and run through each port. If you still got flickering, then try changing your picture settings to fix it. So using your remote, go to Home and then Settings and go to the Picture menu. You can try the various picture modes to see if they help, and if not, then go to Expert Settings. That lets you change the brightness, contrast. Generally reducing brightness helps to fix any flickering issues. You should also switch off the Eco sensor, which is in Settings, System and Eco Solution for most TV models. And you can switch off Energy Saving, which is in Settings, General, Power and Energy Saving. Energy Saving in particular has been known to cause flickering on Samsung TVs. If your TV is still flickering, then try updating your TV's firmware. So you should have auto updating on, but just to make sure, press Menu or Home on your remote, go to Settings, then Support and Software Update, and make sure auto update is on. For older TVs that you need to update by USB, then check out the linked article below for the steps on how to do that. As a final step before hardware fixes, try factory resetting your TV. So to do this, press Menu or Home on the remote and go to Settings, then General and Privacy and Reset. You'll need to enter a PIN, which by default is 4 zeros for Samsung. If that hasn't helped to get rid of the flickering, and it's covering the entire screen, then it's almost certainly a problem with one of the internal boards. So there's the T-Con time and control board that drives your TV's panel, the main board, which has the HDMI ports and the logic for your TV, and the power board where your power cable is plugged in. The most common cause of flickering is a poor connection somewhere, so usually on the ribbon cables connecting the T-Con board to your panel. Try removing them. They have a little catch that you can just flick out, and then pull them out carefully and clean the cable connectors and the sockets with compressed air if you've got it, and just try and make sure all of the pins are then firmly reseated. If that doesn't help, then have a look at all of your internal boards carefully and just check that there are no burnt out components. So just look for signs where a component might have failed, if there's any signs of burning on the PCB itself. If there is, then you can either replace the individual component or just replace the board, which are pretty cheap to get off eBay. If your TV is flickering in one spot only, then that's a sign of a backlight problem. The backlights, the LED backlights, come in strips of varying lengths. There's a few LEDs per strip, and these are then connected together in series and cover your entire TV screen. You can replace failed LEDs individually with a soldering iron, but because if one fails, then it's generally the case that a neighbouring one is going to fail soon. And as it's relatively cheap to buy these LED strips, it's recommended just to replace all of the LEDs at once. It's a bit of a pain to get to the LEDs, as you've got to completely take your TV apart, but there's some tips on how to do that in the linked article below.